You are right, Glenda. A surprise to start trial this morning. Another juror, our second juror now, to be essentially removed from this case. Earlier this week, the sleeping juror, as you might remember we called her, was taken off because she kept falling asleep. Today we learned that an alternate juror was taken off this case. We're not sure why, so that means we are now 2 alternate jurors short now. We'll only have 4 left, and it's only the first week of trial, so that might be a problem as this trial begins to move on. Now let's get you caught up to the witness who testified today that those jurors would have missed out on. Her name was Emma Bell, and she was one of Kwame Kilpatrick's top fundraisers. She said this morning she got here at about 9 o'clock. Bell, she spoke very quietly and reluctantly. She said she had a strong relationship with not just Kwame Kilpatrick, but his entire family, meeting them at church in the 1970s. Bell described how she raised money for Kilpatrick's many funds. She said she was typically paid 10 to 15% of whatever she raised, and her first check from Kwame Kilpatrick's campaign was for $100,000. Bell said after she received it, she went up to Kilpatrick and said thank you. She says Kilpatrick responded with "You're welcome," and then said, "Do you have something for me?" Bell paused several times during this part of her testimony as if she might actually cry. She told an assistant U.S. attorney, "It's not easy for me to be here." Bell said she interpreted Kilpatrick's comment as a sign that he wanted a kickback. She said that over 6 years she kicked back more than $200,000 to Kilpatrick. Bell said she did this by calling his secretary at his office downtown and saying that she wanted to see the mayor. She said Kilpatrick would take her into a private room and close the door. Bell said she usually stashed money inside her bra or maybe her purse, and she would hand it to Kilpatrick in an envelope. She said the scenario played out several times while she was his top fundraiser between 2003 and 2006. Now, I should say right now that the government stopped questioning her about a half an hour ago, and the prosecution is taking it easy right now. The defense is going to start questioning her, and when they do, it's going to be interesting to see how they handle her. They want to assail her credibility, but they don't want to look like they're badgering her. So I'm going to get back in the courtroom. We're blogging right now at WXYZ.com if you want to follow along. I'm Ross Jones reporting live at Federal Court.